Ah, there I am. Hello, everyone. I keep forgetting about doing that. About unmuting myself. Hi. How's everyone doing tonight? Hmm? Hi, Philzars. Hello, Sardeus. So I've decided that tonight we're gonna do just chill ass, drawing stream. I've also decided to put the stream at 30 frames per second, because honestly, I don't think we really need this smooth motion. I figure it should make the stream also more accessible to people who don't have the greatest connection, you know? Um, so, without further ado, let me eat. So, you see this Sonic CD title screen over there? So, there's a brief story about this. So, we're gonna work on this title screen. So, what happened was, hold on, let me see if I can get the video. Ah, there it is. Let me try adding a browser source. Stop it. Stop it. This is unlicensed ad playing here. There we go. Now you won't be able to see the ad. Oh my god, that's another ad. Come on. Alright, I'm skipping this ad. Alright. So, this video right here. See this video? This guy, redraws the three classic Sonic title screens. He basically turns them into like Sonic Mania style, right? That's the idea here. Oh my god, all these ads. So I was like, oh, this looks great, I was like, this looks amazing. So makes them look like Mania, right? Like that's the idea of them. Like the Sonic 3 one is especially nice because it takes that ugly look of the pre-rendered 3D, like here. Oh my god, so many ads. So here. So you see, like, that's a lot of work, right? It's like to make the title screen look nice. And I was like, so I was like, you know what? I bet I can do that. I bet I can rock this guy's socks off. So that's the idea here, is that I'm gonna redraw the Sonic CD title screen. Um, but first, before we begin, I have a very, very special poll to put on here, which is what songs are gonna be playing. What songs do we listen to? Let's say what playlist. Okay, I have some choices of playlists here for all of y'all. The first choice is my OC remix folder. Just I've not touched this folder in a long time, so I don't know what's in here. We're just gonna listen to my Overclock remix folder. Or second option is F-Zero Jazz Arrange album. Hello, Panic Witch. I'm so glad to have you here. My third choice is soundtracks to Street Fighter EX 1 and 2. And my fourth choice is Streets of Rage Remake tracks. Oh, okay. Let's set it for like, I don't know, a minute? 2 minutes seems too long. Let's set it for a minute. Alright, I've started the poll. So you're free to choose whatever playlist you like. And we're gonna listen to that until the playlist ends or the stream ends. I'm not completely sure. If we finish one of these playlists, we just like, I guess we move on to another playlist of my choosing, maybe. So, so choose wisely. There's only 30 seconds left. Choose wisely. What songs do you do you want to listen to while I work on this? You like some nice jazzy tunes? I do love jazz. Have Vroom Vroom in the lead? Interesting. All right, I think the poll is over. Let me take a look at the results. Yeah, F-Zero Jazz Arrange is the winner here. All right. I'm gonna drop all those tracks in here. Hold on, let me get them. There we go. F-Zero Arrange. I'm gonna drop them over to the new playlist. We're gonna listen to them in order. Why not? Yeah, no losers, absolutely. All right. I'm gonna have it play. Gonna start it. Yeah, there we go. How's the volume? Is it too loud? Let me know. Yeah, this is an official jazz arrangement of F-Zero that Nintendo made. So it's like an arrangement of the Super Nintendo game. Let me know how the volume is. It's so good. Alright, so we're gonna start working on this. So okay. I actually already started working on this a little bit. I'll show you. So, this is the work that I've done, right? I've basically done this work already. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit further. So I started working on this. This is what I came up with so far, right? Just reworking on this Sonic here. Volume is good. All right, cool. So yeah, I've started working on this Sonic right here, right? This is the work that I've done so far. But then I realized something. Right? You see this title screen? You can see how the pixels are all stretched, right? This happens because this title screen is running at a different resolution, right? So you can see here, see all the stretched pixels here? Let's see if I can show off here. So, yeah. Like, see right here how there's a doubled lines of pixel everywhere, so it rents this very dirty look to the pixel art, you know? Very unappealing look. Like, see right here, another doubled line here. And then I realized something. The PC version, not the PC version, sorry. We're still gonna get to the PC version. What I realized is, the prototype. So the reason why the lines are doubled here is because this is running at a different resolution, right? And the emulator just stretches it out. Why is it running at a different resolution? Because of these clouds right here. You see them? See these clouds? So this is running on like the Sega CD's this whole like stretchy, mode 7-ish kind of mode for the Sega CD, right? So because of that, it only runs at a lower resolution. But there's several Sonic CD prototypes in which you can see that it did not run on this resolution. So you can actually see how this title screen actually looked like before it got like compressed and then re-stretched into this mess, right? I did not know that. So this is actually what the prototype status screen looked like. See how it's like a lot more cleaner, the pixels, right? So I was like, ah, damn it, I started working on this and I completely forgot about the prototype. But wait, there's more. There's more. Because the PC port actually also redrew the sprites to like get rid of the dirty pixels, but it redrew it kind of badly. So that's that's another reference that we can use. But yeah, see how this looks much nicer, right? So I was like, ah, beans, I started working on it already, and I completely forgot about about this thing. So I was like, so basically what I did was that I got a sprite sheet from Spider's Resource, right? With all the individual elements, you know? And I just like did this. Right? I've reconstructed the title screen with the sprite sheet, and then I started working on top of this. So this is what we got so far, actually. This is what we got so far of the title screen. So see here, compare before and after. And like the Goat Sega, yeah, I like the Goat Sega too. So the difference in palette here that I've implemented of this gold ring right here, right? I looked at Stardust Speedway, right? In Sonic Mania, and I cribbed the colors from that, right? To make it, you know, make it look like Sonic Mania. So yeah, this is what we have so far. This little planet here in the background, I'm just gonna be lazy here, and probably what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use this little planet graphic from Sonic Mania, right? Actually, it's like double that size. I've resized it to make it smaller, and basically we're gonna use this and just, you know, color it to blend in with the skies here. But we're not gonna worry about the backgrounds now, not yet. Let me undo this layer. Right now, let's finish up Sonic, because there's still a lot of parts here. You can see the top spike here and the torso that are still not pixeled. How long have I been doing? Since I was like 8 years old. I started by doing like Sonic edits, right? That I downloaded online just to make my own fan characters, and then, you know, and then I just kind of never stopped. Yeah, see here all the different elements. But right now, let's work on Sonic. But you don't need to be working for that long to get good at it. Who was my first OC? Oh, my first OC was cool. It was called Illidan, you know, like the World of Warcraft character. But it was like an echidna that was about the same age as Tails. Oh, I do want to buy followers. I was gonna. That reminded me. I was going to mute big follows in chat, but I forgot about that. So I had this. Actually, you know what? Let's draw him right now. Let's draw him right now. I'm gonna show you what my first OC was like. So it was like, it was an echidna, right? Except it was at the same age as Tails, right? So it was like a little kid. You know, kid proportions here. And what it had was that it had shadow shoes. See that? So it had shadow shoes on it. And what it also had was Shadow's Tuft here. And purple stripes. And it was called, I think it was called Lydian, actually, because I think I misread the Warcraft character's name. The Echidna. There you go. That was my first Sonic OC. This was before World of Warcraft, right? I knew of Illidan from Warcraft 3. There you go. This was my first OC. And you know what? It whipped. It whipped ass. Because like everyone else's Sonic OCs was just like, what if Sonic was red? What if Sonic was yellow? And I was like, you know, I mixed in different elements, you know, of different characters. It was cool as hell. Anyway, let's actually get to pixel art. It won't be very exciting because it's just gonna be like me touching up pixels a bunch. Get a nice big zoom in here. Alright. Let's use this color here as a base for the shadows here. Because you see the darker tone I'm being using only in very small spots here. Like if you compare here, you know. So I'm using this one as the main shadow here. What would be the equivalent of this darker tone. So let's let's actually do this so we can block in this color. Alright, and we're also gonna do it in these here. We're gonna uncheck contiguous here because then it colors everything at once. I'm gonna lock transparency just to be sure that I won't draw out of the shape because I feel the shape is good. So what resolution does pixel art have to reach? Oh, Ivy, I'm using Paint. I'm using Paint. This is just Microsoft Paint. I'm using a very legal copy of Paint. But you know, I'm not actually using Paint, but you can just use Paint. You know, for the longest time I just used Paint. Like, you can totally make good pixel art with Paint. I still use Paint nowadays sometimes, you know? I still just use Microsoft Paint sometimes. When I got lazy about, like, opening up other art programs. Get a good outline here. This is too neat. Let's make this, right? I don't like keeping my lines too neat. It needs to have some of that anti-aliasing to it, you know? Honestly, Paint is good. Paint is good. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that Paint is not good. Paint is good. Paint is just inconvenient for like if you want to color in a bunch of colors at the same time, you know, really quickly, or use layers, you know, then you can't do that in Paint. But honestly, like, if your computer takes a while to open up other art programs, you might just be better off using Paint, you know? Momentum is important for art too. Bring back Deluxe Paint? Oh, I don't even know what Deluxe Paint is. This fire field, this fire field jazz arrangement is so good. It is so good. I am mad at how good it is. It's so good. Let me turn off the background here real quick. Let me turn off the background layer. Oh. This blue blends too much with the background, so I really want to see how this behaves with no background. This is not too natural. Whoops. This curve here is not too natural. I need to make it look rounder like this. I think this looks pretty round. Don't forget to zoom out sometimes, you know? Ah, this is looking good. Making things rounder does make them better. Let's see. I think this looks good. I don't think I need to touch this anymore. Maybe a little bit more here. I think this looks good. Let me compare with the original, right? I like to compare with the original to see how the original is done. I see. Maybe stronger lines actually. Yeah, this is the. I don't like that it's blurry so much, right? Let's use stronger, like a stronger dark color here. Select all of this and then use the paint bucket. Yeah, I think this looks better. Let's just make sure that it transitions nicely into this color. Here with some added steps here. Maybe strengthen this division here between the ear. I don't want it to be too strong. I like that there's, you know, some that it's a little bit light over here, you know? Can you even see my cursor when I do stuff here? Let me check. Oh yeah, you can see my cursor. I like that this area here is a little bit lighter. You know, I like that there's a bit of a transition to his ear, because his ear is actually like not very far away from this round shape here. So it doesn't make much sense for you to just like make the line very, very strong here, you know? It loses a little bit of the dimensionality if I do that. Oh, Chemical Sheep, are you referencing Drake and Josh? Are you referencing the Game Sphere? Oh, why do I have this turned on? Let's turn off this little planet. This transition feels a bit abrupt. Can we do something about this? Oh yeah, you know what? It's not going through a lot of color steps here. That's why it feels abrupt. Need a little bit more of anti-aliasing to make sure that this feels round, right? Because that's the trick to pixel art. It's just that if you don't have anti-aliasing here, everything looks way too angular, right? Maybe if I erase this part here. Yeah, there you go. See? Instantly a lot less angular. Because I did this. Um, let me turn off the background here. Let me turn on like a green here. Oh, there's a weird pixel here. What is this pixel? There we go. Let's see. Let's zoom in even further here. Make some steps here in the coloring. Make sure that no color transition is too abrupt, right? Oops. Turn off contiguous here. This ear is also not finished. It's still the same ear, more or less. Let's do this. A little outline here. So this ear here, I do want to give it the impression that it is triangular, right? I'm not completely sure how I'm gonna address this because there's very little space here for me to suggest a triangular shape here. Nothing a little anti-aliasing cannot do, but I'm not sure if I have the colors here to really make that anti-aliasing pop. It might just read as... Yeah, like see, it's reading as just this color, right? There are color here that I can use that's kind of like between this orangey red and this blue that's already in my palette. I'm not going to introduce more colors to this. I do not want to introduce more colors. I don't want to muddle this piece. No, I don't think there's any colors here that I can use. I could do this. Right? And then maybe over here transitions to the blue. Maybe to suggest a little bit of that. Create some anti-aliasing here too. Don't want this to be too neat. Repetition is good, but sometimes it just calls too much attention to itself. This repetition here is calling too much attention to itself. It's too pillowy. It's getting pillow shaded a little bit. I think this looks good. Okay. Let's see. Again, more anti-aliasing here. Here's a thing too that I do a lot is that if you're like, see what I'm doing here, if your pixels do this thing, right? If you're doing this, like that's not what I want to get out of here. If your pixels do this, right? If you do this on your shading, let's say that you're shading something and you end up doing a pattern like this, right? This is too obvious. See this? This is too obvious, right? Because see how everything transitions in the same spot, right? So these like gaps become way too obvious, and it just like reinforces the sharpness of the pixels. So what you want to do is to do something like this, right? You want to like mask this, right? Create some anti-aliasing here, right? This is kind of what I veer into doing, right? Is that you want a pattern you want to hide these patterns a little bit. Oh, it's not about light. It's about, you know, making sure that pixels don't become too neat. Especially if you're trying to make an organic shape, right? Because otherwise it does this right here. Like if your pixels do this, right? It doesn't look too good. These like steps become too obvious for an eye to look at, right? And you want to trick the brain. You want to trick the brain into thinking that you're not just looking at pixels. So, you know, always do this. Oh, always do this. Oh, let's use a circle here. Always do this, never do this. The details of Sonic's ear canal. Ah! Isso me assustou! Me assustou demais. Oh. Ah. O som ficou muito alto, me assustou demais quando eu vi o papá. Isso, exatamente, Ivy. É exatamente isso que eu tô falando. Ah. Oh, these sounds are too loud. I'm gonna get spooked. I'm gonna keep it like this so people can get the opportunity to really scare me. Let's see. This torso here still looks the same, so we need to work on this. Let me turn on the OG title screen here. Like, see, it's still the same, just different palettes. So we do need to work on this also. Make sure that I got the right layer on. Let's zoom out a little bit. This is too zoomed in. Bom dia! Well, it's not dia anymore. It is noite. This is a little bit too zoomed out. Okay, this is perfect. I think I don't want it to be this white. I think I just want white to be used for very tiny highlights like I'm using here. So let's just get this white undone here. Make sure that the light direction is more clear here, less pillow shaded. Okay, this is moving into a direction that I like. Let's make sure that the shadow is strong here too. Like something like this, see? Ah, there it is. See how it's starting to look better? Also, I'm gonna make this glove here cast a big shadow here, so just like here with the nose, see? Let's make sure that this glove is casting a shadow like this. Feel free to ask me questions about my process, by the way.
Welcome to the fantasy
Oh.
zone. Get ready.
Thank you for the subscription, Sis. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for the fantasy. Welcome to the fantasy zone.
How to play as that fat cat?
Oh, thank you for the subscription, Cheapy. got that rare notification. Oh, it was gift subs. I see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ox, for the gift subs. I really, really appreciate it. It is September, and also, you know, if you're thinking of subscribing to your favorite streamers, make sure that you do it in this month. I think it's cheaper if you do it in September. Haha, thank you, CB. Oh, the opacity! Oh no! I set the opacity to 40. Uh-oh. Hopefully this is not gonna bite me in the ass. You know what? That's kind of what I do, you know? that's what I do, Philzars, you know? I just have like, I guess I just have more experience in knowing where to put white, where to put the things. I think I do want a little bit of white here. I'm not gonna get these 3 pixels together. I think it looks more interesting if it does this, right? Looks a little bit more naturalistic. Let's make sure that this anti-aliasing here looks tight. I think this arm looks pretty good. Let's see. This part here I don't like. But I don't know what to do here without making it look too weird, right? This connection here, I don't like this connection that it's doing here. Maybe something like this. Yeah, the more you draw, the more you yeah, that's exactly what I'd be saying. This probably looks okay. I shouldn't dwell on it too much. Oh no. You see this? This looks a bit unnatural. Like, this part right here. This part right here. It's not looking great. It's too square. This is making too much of a square corner. It does not look natural. Maybe something like this. I like shapes like these. This shape here. You see this arrangement of pixels here that I'm drawing? Like, oops, that's not the arrangement. This here. This shape is great. I love this shape. This shape is so, it's such a quick and easy way to make things like not, to make shapes more organic in pixel art. I tend to gravitate towards this like kind of like weird ass shape a lot. This like weird ass diamond. It's a very good shape for pixel art. Just make sure that maybe here. No. Let's see how this behaves at a lower. Still a little bit squared. Still a little bit squared, but tilted rhombus, yeah. Tilted rhombus. What if I were to connect this light here, like this? Now there's this one stray pixel here of shadow that is just very apparent that I do not like. This pixel right here became too apparent.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready.
Oh, thank you! 4 months! Thank you, Rue. Thank you for the subscription. Man, this area here is a lot of trouble. This area here. Whatever I'm doing here, I'm not liking. I am just not a fan of whatever I'm doing here. Let me compare with the original again. See, the original just like pillow shades the hell out of this so it doesn't run into this issue. Maybe if I decrease this. Oh, cool. We got the drill wisp. Oh, shoot. It's Mute City. It's Mute City, y'all. If I make this shadow a little bit less strong. This is looking good to my eyes. I don't know. Let's take a look at it zoomed down. Okay. I think if I do this. The forearm shouldn't have the lighter color at all. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because, I mean, that makes sense. Number 15, Panic Witch. Ivy, you're totally right. It probably shouldn't even have it because, I mean, the light is probably coming from up here, right? It's hitting Sonic like this. So maybe... maybe something like this. Number 5. Oh, now this also looks unnatural. It looks too dark if I do this, I think, also. I think I like it better with the lighter color. So maybe the lighter color should have less space here. Maybe something like this, right? Oh no, I don't like this either. I think it's this edge here. It's too extreme, this edge. Yeah, I think I'm getting closer. This doesn't look bad. I think I like this. This line though, not a fan of this line. There's not enough anti-aliasing here. Something like this maybe. Also the steps here, the changing steps here is a little bit too obvious. Maybe I need to thicken this arm a little bit. Like this. I think I'm liking this. I think this is good enough. I think I can leave it quiet for now. Ah, damn it. I'm sorry, Panic Witch. Like, yeah, I think this, I mean, especially when I compare back to the original, I think this looks good. Maybe more transition between the light and dark here, actually. I think the division between light and dark here is a little bit too extreme. Need more of a mid-tone here. Now it looks too weird. Now it looks too weird. Oh, actually, I think I know what it is. This pixel here. Maybe if I move this highlight more over here, right? Give more directionality to this. Ah, no good. See, I'm doing a hard, you know, a hard transition between light and shadow here because the mouth muzzle has it, right? It's a little bit too strong. It's coming off a bit too strong. Maybe if I just delete these white pixels and... Actually, just deleting the white pixels is doing a lot of work already, I think. Yeah, I think this is making the contrast a bit softer. I think this is looking good. Yeah, I think this works, right? I think this works. It still looks slightly awkward to my eyes, but I think it overall works. Yeah. Let's compare it back and forth with the original. Yeah. Yeah, this looks good to me. Oh, also, I should also turn on this thing. I also have the Sonic Mania title as a something to look at, you know, because I am trying to make this more in line with the Mania style. You know, whenever I think it's more appropriate. So I am looking at this title screen for, you know. Alright, let's move on to the other arm. Hopefully this other arm won't also be 15,000 years of being in doubt. Is this the right layer? Yeah, it is. Again, pillow shaded. It's too pillow shaded. We need to give it directionality. We do that by define where the areas of shadow and highlight are. It's never the right layer. That's why I always do this trick, right? That's why I always turn on visibility on and off. Just to make sure that I'm in the right layer. Alright, so there we go. We're establishing a direction here for the light. That's true. Alright, we've established a light direction here. Let's also create a little bit of light here because I think the light is kind of touching this area slightly, maybe. Yeah, I think this looks good. Be slightly more like this. No, I think this looks good as is. Again, make sure that the steps aren't too pronounced. Make sure that it's a nice little anti-aliased, you know, kind of pattern. Oops. Make sure that the light kind of bleeds into the lines a little bit, into the line art. Make the steps less obvious. You know, that's not a bad place to be. I love the Daytona USA theme. Do 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 do. Alright, this arm is looking good. Let's take a look at it zoomed out. Slightly too... You see here, it's slightly too parallel. I wanted to make it look a little bit more curved. That's the biggest struggle. Just making sure that pixels are indicating a curve when you need them to. You know, subtle curves are really hard to do with pixel art. Oh, so Ely, I have an answer for you. Because I actually pulled this up as a reference. It's right here. So the title screen for Sonic CD is based on this. See? It's the same. These are little figurines that Sega had of Sonic. There's an interview on Shmuplations, I believe, that has a photo of this. Yeah. And so they used this, they basically digitized this to make the title screen. So I have it pulled up here as a I have it pulled up here as a reference, you know. Yeah, isn't it? Alright, gotta get back on the layer. That's not the right layer. This is the right layer. Actually, hold on. Let me take a look at it zoomed out again. Color transition here is a bit too weird. Right here. See? Some very strong pixels here that we need to smooth out. Yeah, exactly, Cameron, sorry. I keep wanting to read your name as Carmen. Does this suggest a curve? I think, yeah, see, I feel like this is suggesting a curve more. Let's take a look at it zoomed out. It's not completely curvaceous, but I think it looks better than before, I think. What if I were to delete these 2 pixels? This is looking like a curve to me. Maybe I can... How's the first art stream popping off? It is popping off. Passive and aggressive. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. I'm Ctrl Z. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. Oops. We finished with the F-Zero playlist. I'll do this. I'll just put a bunch of songs on shuffle. Now that we're done with F-Zero, the F-Zero playlist, I'll just like mesh all the playlists together into one and just have a bunch of songs on shuffle, which was my original plan. Okay, let's start with this song. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Since we're doing Sonic CD, let's do this Sonic CD song. This is a Joshua Morse remix of Stardust Speedway. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Delicious. Took a big sip. Let's see. I think the arm looks fine. Let's move on to the other hand. We still haven't altered the palette here, so we should do that real quick. Do a quick change here. Let's see. This color for this. Actually, this is too light. Yeah, I think these colors look good. I think this is a good contrast. Alright, well, all we gotta do is just clean it up. Use the other hand as reference. Maybe something like this to suggest the texture. I think this glove is probably good enough as is. Time to take a sip. I think this hand looks great. You know, I don't think I need it anymore. I don't know what this finger is doing. This finger is kind of clipping into Sonic a bit. Let's make the whole thumb here show up. Alright, I think this looks good. Let me look at it zoomed out. Yeah, this looks good. Let's compare it back and forth. Although this does feel to imply like it's being... like Sonic is being backlit too much. It looks good, but it does look a bit awkward. Oh, you know what? I think I know what can we do to make it look less backlit. Take off these pixels and then... And then we can make this head cast a big shadow here. I think this is also gonna help it bring volume. Sonic Mania does something similar, right? Yeah, like right here. See? I'm gonna make it cast the same, like, big shadow here. And this will also affect this arm right here. Alright. Alright. This I think this is doing a lot. Actually, let me look at the figure again. See how the light is behaving there. Yeah, it's kind of pillow shaded a little bit. You can see some directionality of the light. But it's like the light is coming over here, right? I think the room that it's in, it's being lit by too many places, right? So you have a specular light coming up here. There's another light coming up here. You know, it's probably because it's in a office room, so there's lights coming on everywhere. Right layer, right layer. So something here that I did in comparison with the original is I've made the ear I've made the ear smaller and rounder. Like, see? I think it, like, cause like classic Sonic's ear at least, it's very like it's not that big or angular, right? While I was working on it, I felt like this ear is like it's too angular. It's jutting out too much, and it's too triangular. So I made it a little bit smaller and softer. Cause you know, look at Sonic Mania here. You see here how there's a curve here. 2D. Let me get a green here. You see here how there's a curve. You know, it's very soft. I'm not gonna give Sonic elf ears. Alright, let's work on this belly. First things first, I'm gonna make this specular highlight a little bit smaller. It's too big. He did dress up like Link. Yes, that is true. Let's zoom in a little bit further. Probably gonna move the specular highlight a little bit further up. Yeah, let's do that actually. Like that. Maybe that's a little bit too further up actually. This is good enough. What's everyone's impression on pixel art now that you're seeing someone actually do it? Is it insane? Are pixel artists insane? Are they deranged, just like browsing over like a couple pixels and being like, ah, this doesn't look very good, and it's like, and you're like, you can't even tell the difference. That's because you're on pixel artist yourself, Ivy. Okay, yeah, so you do have the pixel art brain. Panic Witch. You do have our brain, you do have our curse. Pixel art is basically the art form that is most like that, I think. gotta make sure that all the pixels are in the exact right position. Yeah, it's a really good outlet for being boring. That's a great that's a great assessment. Let's make this a little bit stronger here. Oh yeah, we gotta also make the head cast a shadow here. So like this. Yeah, like this suggests a good shadow, I think. Alright, let's see. Oops, not the right tool that I wanted. Let's see. Yeah, isn't it great? These strings are awesome. This color looks nice. Yeah. I think that this is the right value for this. Make the arm cast a little shadow here too. Should I make it a shade lighter here? Yeah, this looks good. I think this looks good. What do you say, everyone? Does this Sonic look good? Back and forth. It does give us a different impression than the other Sonic, right? It does give a little bit of a different impression, I think. But I think it still reads as the same Sonic, right? Actually, I caught something here with my eye. Caught some pixels jutting out here. That was a remix of Kirby's Adventure. I don't remember the name. Go on Overclocked Remix. It's over there. There's not that many remixes of Kirby's Adventure there. I think it was called the artist was called the Select Start. Yeah, I think the Sonic is done, right? I think the Sonic is done. Alright, so let's move on to these rings. So these rings. I'm actually pretty proud of how they're coming along. I did a pretty good job of cleaning it up. You know? Like, I didn't think I would be able to make it look good, but it does look good. These stars here. We're just gonna work on this side because this side is just the other side but mirrored. So yeah, changing the. I mean, I do like the original palette a lot too, is the thing, but I figured, you know, since I am kind of like making it in the style of Sonic Mania a bit, you know, I decided to change the palette to something more adequate. I feel like I'm doing too much differing here. It's looking a bit dirty. I wonder if I can make this look good without differing. I'm gonna copy this layer and then work on it and see if I can just make this golden ring look good without differing. This track right now is from a game called Speed Freaks for the PlayStation 1. It's a kart racer that's, you know, it's not that notable, but the music in it is incredibly good. Wonder if this can look good without all the differing. I'm already not liking how this is coming out, but I don't know, maybe I can work something out here. Because I think you need a bunch of steps, right? In order to make this... In order to make it look smooth. Otherwise it looks... It's starting to look soapy, right? It's got a soapy look to it. And I'm not completely sure what I can do to remedy that. Maybe the soapy look can actually aid in making it look very reflective. Wonder. In any case, I do have the original here, you know, so I can just switch back and forth. I did make a copy layer of it. Maybe the trick is to make some imperfections here. Actually, the clean look isn't too bad, actually. I think it can work. I think the clean look can actually work really well. I gotta say, don't hate it. I do not hate it. The undifferent look here. Yeah, this can work. This can work. This could work. It just needs to have like some outlines. Yeah, I think the trick here is these outlines here that I'm doing is what really allows this to look reflective, I think. Not a bad look. Let's compare it back and forth. Not a bad look. Let's compare it with the original. Yeah, this can work. Maybe I should look up some references here. Gold plating. Maybe just like a little bit of differing here. Just like slightly. Not overdo it, just very little here. Create some contrast here. This works actually. I think this works. Maybe I'll introduce another color to this to make these transitions a little bit more softer, but this isn't bad. Yeah, more colors here. I skipped that song because it's from the F-Zero album. We've already listened to that. Oh, this song Rose. This is from Metropolis Street Racer. on waiting for you there. I just keep holding on, keep going on till my day you were there. You're the best. This is the same vocalist for Sonic R, by the way. The same vocalist and composer for Sonic R. So this soundtrack is basically like a sequel to the soundtrack of Sonic R. It's really great, isn't it? So I just keep holding on, keep going on. I can't resist. I need to have a little bit of differing, you know? You gotta give me this. You gotta give me this much. Okay, I'm thinking of introducing more colors because I feel like the transition between this color right here and this one is a little bit too abrupt, you know? I think. I'm not sure. Maybe I should cool my jets. This is looking better than the different, I think. The different look looks good, but if I want to really capture that mania look, I need to make this look a little bit sharper. Less differing, less anti-aliasing. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the water. Gonna give it a big sip. Bam, 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 ba-da-da-dam. Let's see. I mean, there is, you know, it's just that the differing, I think it looks better without differing, you know? Like, you know, this is what I did, right? This is what I did before. You know, as my attempt to, like, make this weird granularity here into something. But then I was like, you know what? It looks too soft. Let's just, like, let's just try to use as little differing as we can. And I think it looks better, but it's just that differing is so much easier, you know? That's really the key here. That's really the core issue, is that I want to differ because differing makes it easier for you to hint at a complexity here without committing into, like, shapes, right? This is the truth of the matter. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, thank you, Philzars. Thank you for hanging out. Bum 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 ba da da dum. It's a fun remix of Super Mario Brothers 2, right? Yeah, I think this looks good. I'm gonna skip this song. We've already listened to F-Zero. Alright, cool! Yeah! Living in the city, you know you have to survive. Got to keep the dream alive. Where everything is free, can't you see? I want to kind of do away with all this anti-aliasing here also. Make sure that we commit more here. I think this is what we're gonna do. To be found. You know, she has an awful she has an awful good view of the city, you know. I like cities, but I don't think cities exactly do what she says here in this song. Awfully optimistic view of the city. Again, if this looks bad, don't worry. We still have the previous one to go back to. All around. It is better than suburbs, that is true. Maybe she's just happy that she got out of the suburbs, you know? This is gonna be tough. I feel like this is gonna suck a lot of time out of me doing this golden thing. But I think it's already looking better. See? I think there's way more of a statement here being made with the lighting here. Way more. Oh, this is weird. This song is weird. There's too many pixels here. It's gonna be so much work to get all of this looking okay. If I was smart, I would have just done this, right? Like this, you know, I don't have to mess around too much with this, but this, I think that this will look better though, is the thing. I'm going back to making this very anti-aliased. I feel myself slipping back. But I mean, this is hard though. It's a lot of area to take care of and make sure that the pixels are behaving right, you know? It's just too much area to go over. It's easier for me to just like anti-alias the hell out of this. This is looking better though. See? See? This is looking better. Look at this beautiful shine here. Ka-chang. Gotta rein those pixels in. Wow. Oh. Oh, thank you for the raid, Luros. What were you up to? Alô, Cairo. So right now, I am working on remaking the Sonic CD title screen. So this is how it looked originally, right? And we are kind of like, you know, making it more Mania style a little bit. Making it look real nice. And right now, my current struggle is with this whole like ring thing, you know? Because I don't want it to look way too anti-alias, right? I want it to have some sharpness, some definition. I'm kind of working on trying to make the anti-aliasing less strong, but making sure that there's no like weird hard edges, which is really hard to do. It's very time consuming, but I think I'm getting there. Yeah, look at this. I think I'm getting there. Just comparing it to the original. One above and one below, you know. It's already giving me the strength to keep going. Let's see. Maybe over here it starts going into shadow a little bit. Just like going from dark to shadow. Because I think the original is also a bit like that. Like, see? Thank you for the pet. Your pet is also giving me the strength to keep going. Shadow, the ultimate life form. Hey, did y'all know that Shadow... Okay, how much do y'all know about Shadow the Hedgehog? Like, what's his backstory? Can anyone in the chat explain it to me? Like, in simple terms? Because I have a very simple way of explaining what he is. Thank you, sis. After the Shadow the Hedgehog, he's the Winter. You know what? The Winter Soldier is actually a pretty good way of explaining it. You know what? I have a pretty good way of explaining Shadow the Hedgehog to people. Like his whole lore and backstory in simple terms that many people don't like. Many people don't like, but it is truth and I won't be silent. Eu não vou ser silenciada. Mas a verdade é que Shadow, ele foi feito de... Ele é um experimento de laboratório feito com um gozo alienígena, feito para curar a Maria de AIDS. De AIDS. There you go. That's the truth. Luros, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Brazilian viewers right now. Isn't that the truth about Shadow the Hedgehog? There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's true. Maria had Ligma. Or Maria. I think it's looking pretty good. It's so sad. Press F in the chat. For poor Maria. F for Maria, exactly. So what I was saying about Maria. About Shadow the Hedgehog. What I said in Portuguese was Shadow the Hedgehog was a genetic experiment made with alien cum to heal Maria Robotnik of AIDS. Maria, who's the aunt of Dr. Eggman. Well, to be more accurate, fictional AIDS. It's not really AIDS, but you know. It is a disease based on AIDS. This is the truth about Shadow the Hedgehog, whether you like it or not. This is the truth about the character's lore. Ooh, I think it's looking pretty great. There is a part here in the steps that I do not like how it transitions. I gotta fix that. Make the transitioning a little bit better. This is canon, by the way. All that I said right then, that's canon. That's part of Shadow the Hedgehog's canon. Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Adventure 2's canon. Oh, the alien part is more Shadow the Hedgehog than Sonic Adventure 2, but you know, it's part of canon. Shadow the Hedgehog is a sequel, whether you like it or not. That's the truth about Shadow's character. Let's see. What other parts should I work on right now of this? Oh yeah, I said I was gonna eliminate all the differing. And they say Sonic Forces has tonal issues, yeah. So the disease that Maria has is actually like a neurological disease. But here's the thing. It's called NIDS. It's literally the same acronym as AIDS, except the A part, which I think stands for autoimmune, is it's replaced with neurological. The nostalgia critic. No, that's mean. But I mean, he does have a gun. I mean, yeah, sure, that's true. I mean, I don't take anything that Miyamoto said about Mario at face value. Miyamoto says that Mario is like, it's like a 20-something-year-old. I'm like, you don't know your own character. Mario's a 20-something. Mario is younger than me. Come on. Now you're just out of it, Shigeru Miyamoto. Twenty something. I think he said like 24. Mario's not a 20-something. I am revamping the Sonic CD title screen. I'm doing an art stream, so here, Dalmatian, let me show you. This is how it's looking so far. This is the original title screen, by the way. You can see here all the changes that I've made. Actually, originally kind of looked like this, but you know, I'm using prototype assets to, you know, be able to work on it a little bit faster. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just showing people how I do pixel art. Mario's Miyamoto's idealized self-insert. So I mean, there's something interesting about Miyamoto saying that Mario is like a 20-something-year-old, because I think it was Kate Willard on Twitter posted something about a magazine in Japan, a young man's magazine in Japan. I think it was like a fashion magazine in Japan called Popeye. Lures, you're also really good pixel artist. Don't sell yourself short. What was I saying? Right. There is a magazine in Japan called Popeye. Popeye magazine. And it was like a young man's fashion magazine, where the trend was like working city boys. And if you look at the guy in the cover of Popeye magazine, I think it was the first issue of Popeye magazine. Yeah, there you go. Illy linked it. There is a guy that just straight up looks like Mario. It's just straight up Mario, you know? It's got like a working man kind of like denim overalls. And it's very much a thing of like, oh my god, this must be what Miyamoto thinks Mario is like. It's just this young man who looks aged, looks like wears like working class clothes because it's trendy. He just likes the aesthetic of like a working man. Thinks it's modern and trendy. Gentrifier Mario. Oh, I think this is from the Sega Rally soundtrack, I think is what we're listening to right now. Sega Rally soundtrack is great. Marmar is a hipster, yeah. That's the truth about Mario. I'm sorry to say, everyone. I won't go to the local bar because it looks dangerous. Oh, man. Just terrible. Mario's just a terrible person. Let's see, what else can we do here? I kind of want to just like take off all this anti-aliasing. It's too much anti-aliasing. Let's make these pixels shine a little bit more. That's the problem with like if you anti-alias too much, it just gets messy. It gets a messy look. You gotta be a bit more careful about anti-aliasing. But it's really hard to stop yourself, you know? Gotta make sure that that this thing makes more of a statement, right? Rather than just a clump of pixels. Mario won't go to any bars because he's self-quarantining. Good for him. Gotta be tasteful with anti-aliasing. You can't do what I gravitated here towards doing with these wings. Just to be fair, it was because of the original Pixar art already had this look, so I need to fix this. We can make it look better. We just compare it back and forth here. Actually, a little bit of weight here, I think, will give this the impression of like it's got some volume here. So maybe I do want a little bit of a shadow here. Yeah, maybe like more here, and then as it goes over here, it gets thinner, you know, this thick darkness here. Saw a big spider? Like what, in your house? Oh, we've listened to this before. I'm just gonna skip all the F-Zero tracks. Massive. Oh, you can link it here if you want. I trust you, you're a regular. Yeah, I think this is the way to go, right? It's thick and then gets thinner as it goes. I think that this is what we gotta do. I mean, they don't have to click it. Just give it a warning. Viewers don't need to click that link. Make sure to clarify that it's a big ass spider. Yeah, images won't show up. I'm not gonna show it on stream. Ah, it escaped. Something like this here for the wing. Gangly motherfucker. Ooh, okay. See? Okay, this is paying off. I'm glad that I wasn't being lazy. Like, see? See how much better it looks? Like, let's compare it to the old one. See? Oh, I'm glad I didn't take the easy way out of here. This does look a lot better. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Thank you, Dom. Thank you for the pet IV. Thank you also, Cameron. Thanks, everyone. Give more space here because I want to have like a dark streak like this one over here, right? Like this one. I want to have like a dark streak running here, right? Because then it looks like it's being lit from up above, like here, and then below here a little bit. You know, like there's like reflections, make it look very reflective. Oh, dude, that seems huge. Oh, I think this is a remix of, yeah, Virtua Racing. Yeah, this is Virtua Racing Replay. Da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-bow. Alright. Let's see. Darken here because then you can suggest some, like, you know, like a little bit of a curve here. I darken these pixels here. Thank you so much. I actually like the original shading quite a bit, but you know, I was thinking, you know, the idea here is to make it look kind of like Sonic Mania-esque, right? So I figured that, you know, to make that we should probably use some Mania colors, right? And so I went and I cribbed these colors a bit from think I modified them a little bit, but they're largely cribbed from Sonic Mania's rendition of Stardust Speedway, right? Here, I even have a layer here. Hold on. I think it's. I think I even have the layer that I used to color. Yeah, here we go. See? So it's largely cribbed from these colors. I think I messed around with them a little bit, but you see here, it comes from this tiling here of Stardust Speedway. So it's like, you know, since the idea here is to make it look Mania-fied, they should probably use Mania colors. It's why the gloves here, you know, they're using a cyan here for the eyes and gloves, because it's this cyan here from Sonic Mania. I don't know if I'm gonna make this blue here be more cyan here, like the Mania Sonic's blue. I don't know if I'm gonna change this palette. I do like this, but I don't know. I'll try it out after I'm done with everything. I need to see what color I'm gonna make the sky here too. Probably want to make Sonic pop out of the sky a little bit, you know. So if I go with a deeper blue here for the sky, I'm gonna go with more cyan blue for Sonic. If I'm gonna go for a deeper blue with a deeper blue for Sonic, I'm gonna do a cyan sky. You know, things to consider. But for now, we're gonna focus on this emblem. Wait, did I say plant instead of paint? Yeah, I think so too. Sometimes I ask myself, what am I doing here? I think of all the reasons, but it's still not clear. I look at places to go, there's nothing near. Don't take me away from this place. Don't take me back in time to another world where you can be mine. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. Nothing I don't know, there's nothing to decide. Apart from where we want to go. Nice! I promise I stopped singing, by the way. I'm not gonna sing the whole song. I just wanted to sing it a little bit. It's hard to listen to this and not sing it, right? It's so good. Hope my singing wasn't too bad. Oh yeah, this is looking way better. I'm so glad that I'm taking my time with this. I'm so glad. Hold on, where's the layer? Uh-oh. Haha, wrong layer. I was doing it in the Sonic layer. See? See? Sonic on, off. Sonic on, off. Okay. Yeah, there you go. See these pixels? That's fine. Just grab these. There we go. Now it's in the right layer. Boop, boop. But I mean, see here the comparison here? Ah man, I'm really glad that I'm taking my time with these. It really does look better is the thing. Especially when you compare it with the original. take me. So take me. Man, I just checked the viewers. There's a lot of viewers here. Maybe this is something that I should do more often. I thought it would be really boring to watch me do pixel art. It's chill and relaxing to watch me draw? Nice. I'm glad. Yeah, that's Sonic. Sonic was most based off of Felix the Cat more than anyone else. The cartoon design, right? It was really based off of Felix the Cat. If you look at some early artworks of Sonic, right? Of Sonic 1, there's some art that's like one to one like Felix, right? It was like traced over Felix, like some expression drawings of Sonic. Let's see. A Rio Hedgehog. A Rio Hedgehog? Had to be a Rio Hedgehog, huh? Had to be a real one, huh? Do you get what I'm referencing? Is the audio too loud actually? This might be a little bit too loud, especially for a song like this. I lowered it a little bit. This song is not that easy to listen. What? That seems weird. Is there a hedgehog in My Little Pony? I'm so glad I'm again. I keep repeating this every time, but I am really glad I'm putting in the work to really make these metallic bits better. Because I think they really are looking better. Let's compare with the original too. Oh yeah, look at that. Back and forth, baby. The dag? What do you mean the dag? I don't know what a dag is. Oh, the death egg. No, okay, so I cannot take credit for this. This death egg here. This is just from Mania, right? I'm really considering just using this. So maybe I should just make my own, huh? Actually. Like, cause it would be really easy to just take this and just like recolor it and it would fit, you know? And it would look really good, but now that I'm thinking about it, I am putting all this work to strike. I'm putting a lot of work here into this, right? And it's just like every pixel of this image is mine. And if I just take this, then it's not mine anymore, right? So I'm thinking of maybe like using the cutscene, the initial cutscene of Sonic CD, right, and just like drawing over it, which is probably what the Mania team did here with this little planet. I think I'm just not gonna use this. Oh, you never noticed it? Yeah, it's really hard to see, right? But here it is. It's the little planet. It's right here. And right here is the Eggman Mountain, in which little planet is chained to. So I'm also gonna draw some chains connecting the little planet with the Eggman Mountain. You know what? I'll be right back. Let me create a be right back thing for me to use. Let's make a new text. Call it BRB. Let's create background. That's pretty good. What if I add some spaces? Yeah, there we go. And then I can put it over my eyes like a sensor bar. Yeah, look at that. I think this is a pretty good way of doing that. Be right back. Ah, there we go. Okay. I just need to hit the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, hold on. I gotta put my flip-flops on. Gotta put my flip-flops on. Alright. Hello, I'm back. I should probably do something so my model doesn't freak out while I be right back, huh? Because it freaks out way too much. So WarioWare Get It Together. It looks interesting. I like that every character has like different controls for the mini games. Because I think that a problem with WarioWare that I have with WarioWare is that sometimes it can be dubious in a kind of like an unfair way. Like, what are your controls in a mini game, right? I realize that can be part of the fun a little bit. That it's like, oh, you thought that you needed to press A when the timing is right, but turns out you needed to, you know, the timing was off or whatever. Or, you know, like you thought that you had to press A, but turns out you had to press, you know, the control stick. It can be frustrating when that happens. But in WarioWare Get It Together, what's interesting is that you know what your controls are, right? It's the 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 challenge in WarioWare Get It Together is just like, how are you gonna accomplish the task with your controls, right? The dubiousness comes from there, and I think that's interesting. With WarioWare, right? With the new WarioWare Get It Together, I think that's an interesting way to doing it. However, yeah, but you know, you can learn, like it there's a different sort of intuitiveness, right? With it that I find more interesting than regular WarioWare, because you know, it's about like intuiting what you have to do with your controls, right? I feel like the answer is like way easier to get at than on regular WarioWare. I haven't played it, but I'm just my impressions of it, right? However, because of that, I think there's also a problem of like, after watching it for like 10 minutes, things became very samey. There is a minigame that involves, well, see, it depends on the character, you see? Some characters, you pluck them right out of them, and some characters you have to shoot the nose hairs. So I think that's interesting, but also the problem with it is that everything becomes very samey. Like I watched it for, you know, for like 20 minutes, and just like, if you're playing it with just one character, every minigame feels the same because of that. Every micro game feels the same. Because, you know, you're just kind of doing the same thing with the character. So it feels like WarioWare Get It Together gets repetitive. Is my feeling on it. It just feels like a game that you just like get it. You just get it really fast and you're like, okay, I'm done. I got it. Like I'm already tired of playing as this character or whatever. I see. So they do address that, but even still, like, you know, Like I watched someone play with like a rotation of 3 characters. You know, it kind of gets a little bit samey. Doesn't seem to be a game that has a lot of legs to it, you know? Though maybe that's just my gripe with WarioWare games in general. It's just, I don't know, I never click with them as much as I feel like I should click with them. It's very much a feeling of like, okay, I get it. You know, you play a level, you know, 3 times and you're like, okay, I get it. It's I don't need to play more of this, you know. 5-vote is OP. Is 5-vote the big guy or the little guy? Oh wait, is 5-vote the mom maybe? Because the mom is also a vote. The mom. Whoa, the mom can teleport? It's crazy. Crazy mom tech. Urbulon is the OP one? Urbulon is the alien, right? What does he do? See, that's interesting to me. It's interesting that there are some characters that are like, things are way easier with this character, right? Or things are way harder with this character. Whoa! Whoa! I see. He gives the Zuck. The Streets of Rage remake soundtrack is so good. It's like, it's exactly what what you imagine these songs sounding like outside of the Mega Drive, you know? It's like, it's such a good conversion of these songs. It's perfect. It sounds like they're like remastered perfectly. Oh yeah, Chapter 2 is gonna release tomorrow, right? I will... Okay, my announcement here about Deltarune Chapter 2 is that I won't be streaming it. I don't think I want to stream it, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, everyone and their mom is gonna stream it, right? And, you know, when I stream a game, I'm kind of like in a different position than playing a game on my own a little bit, you know? And I just want to have like a laid out experience with Deltarune a bit. Just want to play it on my own terms. And also, you know, I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be interested in watching a stream of me playing it because I think a lot of people will want to play the game themselves, right? So I think it's probably the best thing that I can do with Deltarune is just to not stream it and just play it on my own. I was thinking also about this, right? Like, should I stream Undertale at some point? And it's like, I don't know if there's a lot more things to say about Undertale anymore, right? or to show or whatever. Like, what would I add if I streamed Undertale, you know? Like, I was thinking, you know, because it's Halloween soon. Undertale is a pretty good Halloween game. Oh my god! No! Cameron! You didn't! Toby Fox is gonna resign after what you said, you know? Gonna be like, I canceled Deltarune. I was too owned. My feelings were too hurt. Alright. We're getting it. All I gotta do is the bottom one now. Oh, and I also should probably work on these like little pieces of the wing here. Let's do first these big pieces first, you know? Let's do these big pieces first. And then we can adjust these little ones after we've done the big ones. Because then we can judge how bright these are and how dark we should make these, right? Accordingly. Man, these songs from the Cave Story remix album. There's a lot of nostalgia to this. I used to listen to this a lot. Back in, like, what, 2008? Okay, so let's put a lot of light here. I used to love Cave Story. I don't love it anymore. It's weird. Maybe you know, part of me feels like I'm being too harsh on the game when I'm like, when I replayed it, I was like, I don't love this game anymore. Maybe I was being too harsh on it. Because there's a lot of things about Cave Story that I appreciate a lot, but I don't know. I don't vibe with the level up system anymore, you know? I think it's kind of annoying. And I think it's just because I gotten way into action games lately. And Cave Story is not an action game, and I just kind of want to play it like an action game because it has action game controls. But it's really not an action game, Cave Story. Cage Story. You know, whenever you post something like that, it makes me feel like I'm Like I made a typo, right? As I was speaking it. I'm like, wait a minute, did I say the name of the game wrong? Everyone's gonna make fun of me. Yeah, I figured it was that. But, you know, part of my brain is like, oh no. What if they think I said the name wrong? They're all gonna think I'm a fraud. I see, so you're playing Get It Together right now, huh? Panic Witch. What is this thing doing anyway? Let's take a look at here, the original title screen. Let's take a look at the layers here. To see what is it doing. So it goes down like this, I see. There it is. Wait. Wrong layer. There we go. I see. Wait, so the boss there in War so the boss game is just a guessing game? That seems weird even for WarioWare standards. I see. This song rules. Bam 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 bam. Bam bam bam. Can y'all guess what game this song is from? I bet you can guess what system this song is from, right? It's easy to guess the system. Oh my god, Text Guy, you got it in one. This actually is from Socket. This is from Socket, Time Dominator. Socket has a really good soundtrack. Did you know that? This is Emerald Forest, I believe, from Socket. Clock does slap. I mean the soundtrack. I haven't played the game. Maybe that's a future stream idea, is that I can play Clock. I have no idea how good that game is. People talk about the soundtrack a lot. I have no idea how Clock is. The curvature here looks a bit odd. The original was like that too, huh? Let's see. Oh, the original actually looks a little bit more smoother. Okay, let's fix this curvature here. So what was the problem area? It was like, yeah, it's this right here. Going up to here. I think this should fix it. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Okay, I just gotta make sure that the anti-aliasing looks okay. Man, it's so weird. Do y'all know how I zoom in? I'm gonna tell you how I zoom in. I literally type out the number of the zoom, right? So like right now I'm at 1000%, and if I want to zoom out, I just type 800 into the keyboard. Isn't that weird? Like every time you see me zoom in and out, I'm just like typing numbers instead of like using the actual zoom tool or whatever, or just like a shortcut. I think I might be the only person who does something this weird. Like every time I'm doing art, every time I just do that. Control and mouse wheel. See, that's normal. That's normal. You're not a degenerate like me. You're not a weirdo like I am. Yeah. This is from an official Sonic Remix CD album. Called Sonic the Hedgehog Remix, I believe. And it's just like a bunch of Sonic CD remixes. It's great. I'm not gonna worry about these lines too much. Let's just make these. I think I'm gonna use this here as a reference when I get to this level of brightness. Make sure that it also tapers off the right coordinates. Ah man, again, this Streets of Rage remake soundtrack is so good. It's so good. lay waste on us with your cursed pun. Oh no! Oh no! That is a cursed pun. Fucking Einhander ass sounding music, you know? This is great. Alright, I think this looks good. I think we're finally done with the wings. Before and after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Yeah, I think we really, it really does look a lot better. Put the ribbon back in. Yeah, this ring is pretty much done. All we need to do is the bottom side here. Yeah, look at this. Ah, beautiful. So satisfying. just gotta do the bottom here and the Sega logo and this copyright thing. I'm really interested in tackling this chrome here from the Sonic title, huh? I'm really interested in doing that. Is there anything that I want to do with Sonic? No, I like how Sonic looks. Maybe take off this div ring here, actually. I'm gonna try to minimize the div ring as much as I can. Well, there is this div ring here, and I don't want to let go of that. I think that does look pretty good. Maybe just this, you know? Just a little bit of this. Yeah, I love how Sonic looks. Maybe this part here, we... spikes, we can. Give it some volume. Sun is shining on me. It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. And the sky, it makes me feel so high. Bad times pass me by, and today it's gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine brighten up your day? I think I'm gonna fix this part here a little bit. Make this shape transition into that shape a little bit better. Feel the sunshine. Actually, I think it might look... Maybe the thing is that I need to do this. Forget about the rain. Think about the good times. Come back again. Okay, okay. I think I'm pretty much done with the ring here. Okay, okay, this looks better. You do what all the time? Hahaha, yeah. I mean, that's pixel art. That's pixel art. That's just how pixel art be. All right. Back again. Yeah, that's Sonic Smile. All right. Hmm. I think this might be a good stopping point, actually. I am getting pretty tired. You know, I have been working on this for 3 hours at this point. Yeah, nearly 3 hours. But you know, hopefully this was entertaining. Hopefully you all learned something. Is this gonna allow you to shang tsung my pixel art skills to you? Like the Monstars in Space Jam? Just zap my zap my pixel art talent into you? Was this educative for other pixel artists out there? You know, have you figured out something that's like, ah, so that's how she does this? Was this educational? Nearly 3 hours, yeah. Was this educational for other pixel artists out here? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Cause like, you know, like this, right? Oh, hold on. This looked fine, right? It's like this right here, this looks fine. This looks fine, right? But then I was like, you know what? There's really thick anti-aliasing here that doesn't completely match how the Sonic looks, how clean the Sonic looks. You know, I should clean it up. Should clean up this mess. And you know, there's still a decent bit of anti-aliasing, but you can tell just how much better it looks, right? Still quite a lot of anti-aliasing, but you know, it does there is more here. Yeah, it does look way better, doesn't it? You know? You gotta learn to hold it back a little bit, right? You gotta learn to hold it back a little bit, you know? All right. I'm I'm glad it was cool to watch. Wow, I didn't know there would be so many people interested in watching me do this. I'm really glad. So probably gonna do this more often then, if so many people are interested. I really enjoy doing this. I'm really surprised because like I'm really surprised that I made this ring look okay without the dithering, right? Like I realized that I was using dithering as a crutch here, you know. Uh, I'm really glad that I recognized that. Congrats, Panic Witch! Congrats! You did it! I'm glad for you. But yeah, this is shaping up nicely. Gonna probably do more art streams in the future. Maybe of this piece. Maybe we'll just keep streaming this until I get done with it. That would be nice. That would be cool. All right. Thanks everyone for joining me in this weird stream. I'm really glad that it was interesting that people like this. So right meow. Let's see if there's someone that we can. Oh, you know what? Let's raid Courier Rice who's playing Celeste. Hopefully you're not gonna be done with Celeste soon. I'll keep y'all posted when my next stream will be. See ya. Goodbye.